What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Monday, July 28th, 2014, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, and on Twitter at The Enter Report. Hopefully, everybody had a fantastic weekend. Lots to cover. Actor Freddie Prinze Jr. bashes 24 star Keifer Sutherland, saying he hated working with Keifer on 24 and calling him, quote, the most unprofessional dude in the world. Freddie made the comments at San Diego's Comic-Con, telling ABC News Radio his experience on 24 in 2010 was so bad he wanted to quit acting altogether. He said, quote, I did 24, it was terrible, I hated every moment of it, I just wanted to quit the business after that, so I just sort of stopped, end quote. He then took shots at Sutherland, saying, quote, Keifer was the most unprofessional dude in the world. That's not me trash talking. I'd say it to his face. I think everyone that's worked with him has said that, end quote. In fact, Prinze Jr. still hates Keifer so badly, he took a shot at the actor for being short, saying, quote, I went and worked for Vince McMahon at the WWE for Christ's sakes, but at least he was cool and tall. I didn't have to take my shoes off to do scenes with him, which they made me do at 24. Just put the guy on an apple box or don't hire me next time. You know I'm 6 feet and he's 5'4", end quote. He clearly changed his tune. Back in 2010, Prince had nothing but good things to say about working with Keifer. Keifer Sutherland's publicist has responded to Freddie Prinze Jr.'s claim that Sutherland was unprofessional and that he hated every moment of working with Sutherland on the Fox drama 24. Sutherland's rep opted to kill Prince with kindness in a statement obtained by the rep on Monday, saying the actor enjoyed working with Prince, even if his former co-star doesn't feel the same. The statement from the actor's publicist also made note that this is the first time that Sutherland has heard about Prince's displeasure with him in the half-decade since the two shared the screen together. The statement read, Keifer worked with Freddie Prinze Jr. more than 5 years ago, and this is the first time he's heard of Freddie's grievances. Keifer enjoyed working with Freddie and wishes him the best. Prinze Jr. believes alcohol made Keifer Sutherland impossible to deal with on the set of 24, but a key Fox source told TMZ Freddie's claims are BS. Sources connected with Freddie told TMZ the actor claims Keifer would regularly show up on set drunk, sitting in his trailer often for hours as everyone waited. The sources said it messed with the lives of the family of cast and crew. Freddie, TMZ was told, claimed Keifer was temperamental and got people fired he didn't like, yet 24 producers consistently kowtowed to him. As one source put it, all they did was keep rewarding him. TMZ sources claim Freddie was groomed to take over the series, but it became such a nightmare for him, he bailed. A Fox official told TMZ Keifer was nothing but professional during the run of the show and is beloved by cast and crews. The honcho also added it's so out of left field 5 years later. The official goes on to say, we wouldn't have done another 24 if Keifer was anything like Freddie described. With ABC's The View working to revamp its panel, Lauren Sanchez has been tapped to guest co-host on the ABC daytime talk show Wednesday. Sanchez, a former news personality at KCOP TV in Los Angeles and the original host of So You Think You Can Dance, will guest co-host on the show on Wednesday. She wrote on her Twitter account Monday, so happy to be in #NYC, excited to co-host The View at The View TV this Wednesday. The ABC talk show is currently in the throes of reinvention. Following Barbara Walters' departure earlier this year, news broke that Sherry Shepherd and Jenny McCarthy would not be returning to the series, leaving Whoopi Goldberg as the only current panelist who will return next season. The series recently decided to bring back Rosie O'Donnell, who had a previous controversial run on the show. Sanchez joined other recent guest hosts such as Alicia Melendez of Fusion's AM Tonight, Meghan McCain and WGN's Anna Bevilall, and Sarah Haynes of ABC News. Andre Johnson, the 25-year-old homeless man accused of threatening to kill Michael Strahan, was in court on Monday, where he demanded a new lawyer, citing that he was part of the Illuminati, among a variety of strange outbursts according to media reports. As the suspect could not be calmed or silenced, the judge purportedly demanded a mental competency exam. Aside from alleging that his lawyer is a part of the Illuminati, the New York Post Detail Johnson is also demanding photos after Justice Laura Ward barred photographers from taking his picture. Where's the media? There's a ward against me, he purportedly continued. Obama was elected to defend us. After the judge issued 7:30 exam, Johnson lashed out, saying that's some BS and used the N-word, according to the Post. Johnson was arrested on July 1st after allegedly attacking a security guard with a knife while attempting to gain access to ABC Studios where Good Morning America was being taped. He was taken into custody immediately, and Strahan was not even aware that anything had happened at first. At the police station, Johnson allegedly said that he had tried to gain access to ABC Studios because he wanted to kill Strahan, asserting that they control my mind. They make me want to kill Michael Strahan with a 2.5 knife I brought from Kmart, according to the Post. He's been charged with 3 counts of attempted assault. Michael Strahan is an anchor on Good Morning America, appearing a couple of times a week, along with his regular gig as co-host of Live with Kelly and Michael. The former New York Giants player was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Phaedra Parks is back at work shooting episodes for the new season, and rumors that she's taking a leave of absence is not true, sources told TMZ. What's more, we've learned her husband, convicted felon Apollo Nita, is back too, at least for a while. TMZ was told Phaedra and Apollo had been filming for almost a month, trying to shoot as much as possible before he began serving his 8-year prison sentence for money fraud. Sources told TMZ their storyline centers on Apollo's conviction and the upheaval it's caused in their relationship, a relationship that appears to be on the brink of divorce. TMZ were told Phaedra may skip some filming to take care of family business, but there's no way she's leaving the show. The Donald Sterling saga may be finally over for good. A judge has ruled that Shelly Sterling did indeed have the legal standing to decide matters on the family trust on her husband's behalf, clearing the way for Steve Ballmer to officially take over the team. A sale of the Clippers to Ballmer went through on May 29th and was made possible because Sterling was found to be, quote, mentally incapacitated, end quote. According to the terms of the family trust, this gave Shelly Sterling the authority to make decisions on the trust assets, most notably the Los Angeles Clippers, without also getting Donald's signature. But Donald Sterling sued in probate court, arguing that the neurological exam was conducted under false pretense and does not accurately describe his mental state. The sales window to Ballmer was supposed to end on July 15th, but it was extended until August 15th so the trial could finish. Had the judge ruled in favor of Donald Sterling, the window could have expired, forcing the NBA to go through the termination process it was prepared to use until the sale to Ballmer happened. Were that to succeed, the league would have controlled the team and auctioned to the highest bidder. But there was a risk that Donald Sterling wouldn't officially be out of the picture by the start of the season, which is why players suggested they might boycott next season if a favorable ruling didn't happen. The trial began in early July despite attempts by Sterling's team to delay the start. The trial was supposed to focus mainly on the legality of Shelly Sterling's decision and whether the mental incapacity diagnosis was appropriate, but eventually veered into other topics, most notably the value of the team should Donald Sterling remain owner. While Donald Sterling can still sue for monetary damages, he will not be able to appeal the judge's ruling on ownership, as the court ruled 1310B was not just for life and death case, made it a clean sweep for Shelly Sterling. The judge said the issue of the 1310B provision was the hardest issue to decide on, but found it does not apply to just life and death cases, as Donald Sterling had argued. The judge says the trust would lose $400 million if the provision wasn't used, and said he believes the death spiral theory of interim Clippers CEO Richard Parsons. Donald Sterling can still sue the trust for monetary damages, but he would essentially be suing himself. As part of an earlier deal with Shelly Sterling, the NBA is indemnified in any lawsuit. Californication star David Duchovny says his beer commercial musing about living his life as a Russian does not mean he supports Russian politics, especially the invasion of the Ukraine. Duchovny's statement to TMZ comes in the middle of a flurry of criticism over his commercial for a Russian Siberian beer, Siberian Crown. Duchovny wonders in the spot what his life would be like if he was Russian, fantasizing about being a cosmonaut, a ballerina, and other Russian stuff. The actor told TMZ, quote, "I am proud of my Russian, Ukrainian, Scottish, and Polish heritage as I am proud of my American heritage," end quote. The company goes on by saying, quote, "But being proud of one's ancestry is not a political statement or any current government or public policies," end quote. He insists the beer commercial is not a political statement, but adds, quote, "In retrospect and in the light of recent tragic events, I can now see the potential for misunderstanding and hope people will understand." Jersey Shore star of the situation just accepted a plea deal for 12 weeks of anger management following his arrest for assaulting his brother last month, according to TMZ. Mike, the situation Sorrentino has been incentivized. If he completes the program to the judge's satisfaction, the assault charge will be reduced to a petty crime, disorderly conduct. The plea deal was unveiled this morning in court in Middletown, New Jersey. Stitch was with Frank, the brother he punched in their tanning salon, and told TMZ he's not looking forward to anger management, but admits he could probably use it. Stitch's attorney, Edward Fratkin, says the anger counseling will be done on a one-on-one basis. Zayn Malik from One Direction is there to go where Rihanna had chickened out. He just tweeted, #FreePalestine. The 21-year-old singer who grew up Muslim posted his comments Sunday night, and lots of followers quickly reacted. One posted, "Are you still alive? You should be dead by now and kill yourself." Another said, "You and your family need to die." Someone apparently in Israel wrote, "You have fans in #Israel. It broke me that one of my idols wants me to die," end quote. Malik, unlike Rihanna, didn't back down. She removed an identical tweet 8 minutes after it was posted. A Keith Urban concert devolved into a drunken mess Saturday night, with dozens of people being treated by medical personnel for alcohol issues and a number of others being arrested. Urban was playing at the XFinity Center in Mansfield, about 30 minutes south of Boston, Massachusetts. According to local police and fire officials, 46 people were treated and 22 were taken to local hospitals, mostly due to drinking. Things were so bad officials had to activate a Phase 1 EMS plan, which included ambulances from 5 surrounding communities. People were so drunk at the show, 50 were taken into protective custody for their own good, and many others arrested, all for alcohol-related issues. Terrence Howard's ex-wife threatens to blackmail him to get a ridiculous amount of spousal support, or so he claims, leaving him with a scant $6,000 a month, and now he's gunning to undo the injustice. Terrence filed new court documents asking a judge to throw out his divorce settlement with Michelle Howard. He says they were only married a year and he was extorted and blackmailed into signing the settlement. Michelle is not backing down, claiming he owes her $325,000 in spousal support. Terrence claims he could never pay her that money because he only takes home $5,878 a month. Howard claims the balance of his earnings are earmarked for another ex-wife, Lori McMasters, to pay spousal and child support. Howard says he's actually an employee on Lori's payroll. His Hollywood movie money goes directly to her, and she cuts him his monthly checks. Former WWE champion Daniel Bryan stops burglar submission robbery. Daniel and his wife, Brie Bella, had just come home Thursday night when they saw 2 men on their way out of their house. The burglars dropped the stuff they were stealing and hightailed down the street. Bryan gave chase. The bad guys had a big head start, but the champ caught up with one of them and locked him in a rear naked choke for 5 minutes until cops arrived. Daniel's feat is all the more impressive because the guy he caught is facing kidnapping charges in another case. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Daniel's wife Bree retrieved the loot the guys were in the process of stealing, including a bracelet that belonged to the wrestler's recently deceased dad. The second guy is still on the loose, but there's one less bad guy on the streets thanks to Daniel Bryan. Spike TV has decided they're not going to renew TNA's wrestling flagship show, Impact Wrestling. Multiple sources with direct knowledge of the deal told TMZ. Spike executives contacted TNA President Dixie Carter late last week to break the news, and the following day Carter informed members of her inner circle. TNA's current deal with Spike reportedly runs through October. It's unclear at this point when Impact Wrestling will stop airing on Spike. TMZ were told there's no bad blood, and Spike gave TNA such an advance notice so that it would have time to shop for a new deal. TNA's show debuted on Spike TV in October 2005 and helped the league rise to number 2 on the wrestling scene behind the WWE. TMZ called TNA and Spike for comment. So far, no word back. Stephen A. Smith has been in a little bit of hot water lately after making remarks last Friday on ESPN's First Take that women sometimes provoke getting hit, which came up when he and co-host Skate Bayless were discussing the NFL's 2-game domestic violence suspension of Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice. On Monday morning's First Take, Smith addressed the remarks he made, saying that he made, quote, the most egregious error of my career, end quote. He went on to say that, quote, my words came across as it's somehow a woman's fault. That is not my intent. The failure to clearly articulate something different less squarely on my shoulders. To say what I said was foolish is an understatement. To apologize, to say I'm sorry, doesn't do the proper justice, end quote. Smith was especially regretful because he cited that he's dealt with domestic violence in his own family. Smith said, unfortunately, I did an incredibly poor job of asserting my point of view this past Friday. For that, again, I am truly sorry, particularly the victims of domestic abuse and my female members of my family, and I love who deserve better. You all deserve a better professional and, quite frankly, a better man sitting on this set in this very chair. My heartfelt apologies. Before the crowd adds to San Diego Comic-Con, Sons of Anarchy creator Kurt Sutter teased some big guest casting news. On Monday, the name of the big guest star was revealed when Glee star Lea Michele tweeted that she'll be appearing on an episode of, quote, her favorite show. FX confirmed the casting to the rap, adding that Michele will play Gertie, an empathetic truck stop waitress and single mother who connects with Gemma, who's played by Katie Seagal during a difficult time. It's a dramatic departure from Rachel Berry, the sunny singer she plays on Glee since 2009. She'll appear in the 6th episode, airing October 14th. Former Tonight Show host Jay Leno will return to NBC this week to mentor comedians on Last Comic Standing. As the final 5 comics face off Thursday, Leno will provide counsel on the ins and outs of stand-up. Host J.B. Smoove introduces Leno to the comics by telling them they're about to meet, quote, one of the funniest comedians in the world, end quote. Leno continues to perform stand-up regularly even while hosting The Tonight Show each night for 2 decades. NBC's entertainment chief, Bob Greenblatt, says that he hopes Leno will continue a relationship with the network and that hope is coming to fruition with Leno's appearance on the competition show. Jimmy Fallon took over The Tonight Show in February. The Last Comic Standing contestants are competing for the title of Last Comic Standing in a prize package worth $250,000, including cash and talent and development deals. Thursday's episode with Leno appears Thursday at 10, 9 Central on NBC. CBS Out of This World drama Extant is moving out of its time slot. Beginning Wednesday, the series, which stars Halle Berry as an astronaut who returns from a 13-month solo mission mysteriously pregnant, will shift from its 9 p.m. time slot to 10 p.m., with repeats of Criminal Minds serving as its lead-in. Extant, which counts Steven Spielberg among its executive producers, got off to a so-so rating start with its July 9th premiere. The series premiere drew a 1.7 rating in the 18/19 demographic most sought by advertisers, which made it the summer's top new series premiere. Still, it was down considerably from Under the Dome, CBS's summer event series last year, which scored a 3.3 rating among the key demographic. For its most recent episode last week, Extant was down to a 1.1 rating /4 share. The time slot shift could help provide that downslide. If 2 recent CBS reshufflings are an indication, since moving from 9 to 10 p.m., the drama Unforgettable inches up in total viewers and surges in the key demo. After also shifting from 9 to 10 p.m., Reckless also inches up in total viewers, though it remains unchanged in the key demos. Extant has shown significant growth in Live Plus 7 ratings, which take into account viewers tuning in for the original air date and the following 7 days. In L Plus 7 numbers, the premiere episode of Extant climbed 31% in total viewers, adding nearly 3 million to its tally and jumping 50% in the key demos to a 2.4 rating. And finally, Scarlett Johansson's Lucy pummeled Hercules and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the box office battle of the action heroes and sexes, taking a muscular $44 million over the weekend. The Rock's Hercules did better than expected and wound it up with $29 million to beat out two-time reigning champ Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which finished third with $16.4 million. And one of Philip Seymour Hoffman's final films, The Most Wanted Man, cracked the top 10 in its limited debut. But this weekend belonged to Lucy, written, directed, and produced by Luc Besson. The thriller about a woman who gains extraordinary brain power after a drug implanted in her body seeps into her system beats analyst projections by at least $10 million and exceeds its production budget in the first 3 days of Benz's Europa Corp and distributor Universal. Lucy marks Johansson's top opening as the lead in the film and is one of the highest openings ever for an R-rated action movie starring a female. Johansson has burnished her action star credentials playing the Black Widow in Iron Man 2, The Avengers, and Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The performance of Lucy, for which Angelina Jolie was considered at one point, cements her status as a leading lady in the genre. The audience was split evenly between male and female, and the age breakdown was broad, with 35% under 25 and 65% 25 years of age and older. They gave it a C+ cinema score, given its 60% positive score on review aggregation site Rotten Tomatoes. The big debut by Lucy, which co-stars Morgan Freeman, is all the most impressive because it's an original story, an anatomy in a summer saturated with franchise films. The overall box office is running nearly 20% behind last summer's record season, and while this weekend was still about 13% behind the same frame last week, the strong performances of the top films is an encouraging sign. Universal's distribution chief Nikki Rocco told The Wrap, to have a female lead in an original property absolutely makes a difference. Scarlett is a star, and her presence made a lot more appealing for women. The weekend's other wide opener, the Michael Douglas, Diane Keaton romantic comedy And So It Goes, opened on far few screens and finished 8th with an estimate of $4.5 million. Distributor Claris had the film directed by Rob Reiner in 1,768 theaters. That was well below the 3,173 locations that Lucy was in, or the 3,595 for Hercules. Universal's low-budget horror film The Purge: Anarchy finished 4th with $9.8 million. That's a pretty steep 67% drop from its first weekend, but better than the original, which fell off more than 75% in its second week. It's taken in $51.3 million, or more than 4 times its production budget. Disney's animated Planes, Fire and Rescue wasn't far behind with $9.2 million in its second week. It was well ahead of Sex Tape. The R-rated Cameron Diaz, Jason Segel comedy was off 59% from its opening week and was 6th with $5.9 million for Sony. The Most Wanted Man delivered the first top 10 opening in 11 years for Roadside Attractions, which is distributing the spy thriller based on the John LeClaire novel with Lionsgate. The film, directed by Antoine Corbien and co-stars Rachel McAdams and Robin Wright, opened to $2.7 million from 361 locations. That's a very strong $7,527 per screening average for Wanted Man, which has drawn terrific reviews, particularly for its star Philip Seymour Hoffman, who died from a drug overdose in February. And that is your entertainment report for Monday, July 28, 2014. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. And on Twitter @The Enter Report. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.